guess I can see it better now. Good morning, Sue. I hope you're okay. So it's been a minute since I've gone live. Since lockdown, like I just never had the energy. Well, do I even have the energy now? But anyway, good morning everyone. Thank you so much for joining my live. I'm really just going live to pretty much encourage someone, but I'll just wait a minute first. But I could see that Paulette is watching, Sister Cheryl Smith is watching. So good morning everyone. I hope you're okay. And if you are so blessed to be in the Cayman Islands, it's a public holiday, yay. So we get to stay home. Well, actually, I got to stay home 2 days. So that was really exciting. Still is exciting. I actually spent the day laying in bed, relaxing, trying to recuperate. Even though it wasn't really a hard week, being that I only went to work 1 day, and that was Monday. But it was still good, regardless, to be able to stay home. I can't see everyone. I could see the number, so I don't know exactly who is watching. But you could let me know where you're watching from, and how are things wherever you are. We are so blessed again. We are COVID free. So we are pretty much back to normal, except for traveling, which has been since, I can't even remember, since about June, July, thereabout. So we don't wear masks. Well, we don't have to wear masks out in public. The children are able to go back to school without masks full time. So I guess those are some positives that's happening to us over here. But thank you so much for tuning in. Hi Shireen, so nice to see you on. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just pretty much share what has been on my mind for the last, I would say, since 2021. I've just been reflecting on where I was last year, or well, even before COVID-19 started. That would have been around December 2020, thereabout. Anytime from summer. I was always, I would say I was one who was very anxious and always thinking about people's opinion, trying to impress everyone. I'm not really impressed, but just to ensure that I do what is right in most people's eyes. I found that that was how I was in, in 2020, so 2020. I was I know a lot of you know that I'm a teacher by now. I think the entire world knows that by now. And I really think that my anxiety and whatever I was feeling really came or was with me because of my career or my job as a teacher. And so with that anxiety, I was very anxious. I was also very careful. I tried to do everything right. And then also with my personality, I really believe that I am a perfectionist in every way. I try to do things in an order. Going on, for example, I have a strict routine. Well, I had a strict routine because I'm deviating from a lot of that, a lot of my old ways and things that contributed to my anxiety. And good morning, Asana. So I took on this journey, or it really happened naturally, where I decided that I will no longer be a perfectionist. Well, I can't say that exactly, but in a sense, I try to ensure that my space and everything is, well ordered, organized, everything is going. But I found in the past, with the way that I was such a perfectionist, I feel like it was taken advantage of in a way. I don't know if it was on my part or externally, but I found that as a teacher, I would always ensure that I was there every day. I was always present, even if, in COVID-19, March 2020, I believe that I took on much more in that I was always online, I was always present, I was always doing everything. I took it up on myself. And the reason why I'm reflecting as well is because, like I said, I live in the Cayman Islands. At first we were locked down, now we're we reopened. So that is really something, it's just a little change. And for me, I want to ensure that I take care of my mental health. So yes, so in March 2020, like I said, in addition to being a young teacher, new teacher, whatever they want to call me, I was teaching for about 2 years at that time. And I was always trying to execute the plans that I came up with in college. And so that led to me being a perfectionist. I was always just present, going to school every single day. Like, I didn't take a sick day. I didn't take a mental break. I worked till 5, 6, 9, whatever assignment I got at work, I would do it. And not saying that anything is wrong with it, but it was really my approach, doing it all the time. I mean, I would stay late at work, and then when I get home, I would stay up till 5. Not 5, still like 10, 11, in the night. And because I was always just doing and doing and doing and doing. And then COVID-19 came, which was 2020. This anxiety or whatever it was that I had, and the behaviors I was exhibiting, mind you, they, to the public and to everyone looking on, it may seem like, oh, this is good, this teacher is always doing whatever, but in the end, it's not really beneficial if your mental health is suffering. So March 2020 came, I was online, and this, I'm also speaking to my teacher friends. I know a lot of you are online as well, and it's really important for you to be cautious with this. because before we got the official word that we should go online, I went online, and I had a schedule for my class. It was pretty much school, but I moved it online, and I would do it every day at the same time. So we would wake up, the kids would go on a learning platform, I would check it, see what they're doing, then we'll have our sessions on Zoom or Teams, whatever it was. And for me, it seemed pretty okay, except like I said, in the evenings when work would be done at 3 or so, I would continue till in the night, just always finding new stuff, and it really took a toll on me. I am not going to lie, and I'm not going to say that, you know, it was really good. And also, before COVID-19 came, I was having a lot of anxiety as well, because I changed grade levels. It's not something I wanted to do, by the way, but it so happened that I did, and I was just really anxious. Like I said, staying up late in the night, I would work myself to like frills. I was very tired. And then whenever I go to bed 11, I would wake up 2 and not go back to sleep till like 4. So you kind of see the pattern and what was happening to me. And then fast forward to like December 2020, this was when, and like for the first time in my career, 3+ years, I guess, at this school, I really and truly decided that, you know what, this is the time for me to do something different. I cannot continue like that, or I could not have continued the way that I was going, you know, working all day, all night, giving everything my all. And again, nothing is wrong with that, but at the end of the day, you have to think wisely. So the 2020 December came around, but I must say again, with the anxiety and everything that I was suffering, I decided that at the start of this school year, you know, COVID came, we had a lot more time on our hands, and I took up a few good habits as well, because, you know, being locked inside, not going anywhere, I started to invest in myself, doing some hobbies and stuff like that. And this was where the whole going live on Facebook came about. And so I decided this school year I was going to do something different. So I was going to work less, as in work in my contracted hours. And this is another thing for teachers as well. We have to learn to work within the contracted hours. Nobody gets a star for working till 9, till 5, staying in school, being the last person to leave the parking lot, or being the first person to get there. Like, you don't get a prize. And to be honest, we all get the same salary. So that was really my mindset going into the 2020 school year. And then, like I said, December came, and I did something so different outside of what I would usually do, because like I said, I don't know if it was an obsession, I don't know what it was, but I was always present until around usually I would say there's a particular issue in my family that comes up, and it requires us as a family to be present. But like I said, I was always just saying, you know, summer is coming, Christmas is coming, whatever holiday is coming, so I would just put it off and say I'll go, you know, I'll go to Jamaica, I'll go check on this, I'll go do that. So it came December. I remember I said I wanted to go to Jamaica, but I was very iffy because our school at the time, they said we could travel, but it would have been that I would only go to Jamaica for a week or something, then I would have to come back. And I really didn't know how the quarantine situation was going to go, because we have to quarantine for 14 days here when you return. But it so happened that I think the decision was made that school would be out for 1 month. But again, I was saying to myself, I wanted to complete the term, not be absent. Like I said, it's my obsession. Not be absent, you know. Because for me, with anxiety as well, I feel like it just forces you to be perfect, or try to be perfect, because you know you don't want to be seen as, you know, she's slacking off. Or and I think with mental health as well, I feel it just has a way of letting you think that you're less than, or if you're absent one day, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, I wanted to leave when school ended. That would be about December 17th or 18th. I can't really remember the exact date, but that was the time. But like I said, with the family issue, it came up, and you know, I was there like, should I go? Should I not go? Should I wait? And so forth. But what I did though, I think I said that I wanted to be on the flight to go. So whatever the date was, the 17th or the 18th. And then things just began to, you know, deteriorate. Things got worse over there. So I said, you know what? I am going to get on this flight. So I called the airline and I was like, what's the flight that's going out? When is the flight going out? And they said, I think it was Tuesday. And they said to me, we only have one seat on tomorrow's flight. I was like, just put me on it. Like, I didn't have any form of approval or anything. But like I said, with my track record, it would be kind of obvious that I didn't take any day off or anything. So to leave was not a problem. So I got on the flight and I went over there. But just to come back to the story about how I deal with anxiety and all of that. Like I said, I was always trying to go to work, always trying to be there, and it was not good for me. And then, like I said, I went to Jamaica for, I think there was a quarantine there for 7 days. I can't really remember, but I went there for 2 weeks. And I did what I needed to do. And it was really hard as well, being that I had to, I was still studying, but I thought it was better to deal with my family issues there while I'm there. So I would go to the hospital in the days, come back home, do the work, and then, you know, the cycle repeated. And it was really challenging as well with the situation that I had to deal with, because it would occur over time, or it always happened. But like I said, I was so obsessed with working, doing my job, and all of that. So I didn't take the time off to go see my family. And well, as in, if there was a crisis or anything, I would wait till summer or go on a short break or something like that. But then January came and I did the quarantine, it was pretty good. I was home, thank God, in my house by myself. But I had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to say to myself how I was going to progress for the rest of the year. And so I think the quarantine ended the day before school, and it was interesting. But I went back to work, and I want to say now, looking back and, you know, assessing everything, I don't want to say it too early, but I feel like I am no longer anxious. I'm no longer dealing with that issue of, you know what, I'm gonna put my job first, or am I putting my job first? Am I doing too much? So that's really a good thing. Something that I think it's really a positive thing for me as a teacher. And I know anxiety and all those mental health issues are not easy to deal with. And there are people who may be going through stuff like this, and I feel, or even worse, because for me the anxiety was probably like something I did by myself just to ensure that I was doing my best. So I don't really think it was like real serious. It was just, when I actually went to the doctor though, they just said it was minor anxiety and depression, and it was really due to my work. And the doctor said to me, you really need to slow down. I think you're doing too much and all of that. And I was like, yeah, but I can't stop. I just have to do a lot. And like Shakia said, my doctor in progress shirt, I was doing my doctorate and trying to do like the most. Like, I am one of those persons that do the most. I have to do it perfectly. I have to get it done. I have my little timeline. Like, I think I made it when I was 16. I was like, okay, when I'm 18, I'm going to be done with my associates. When I'm this age, I'm going to be done with my doctorate. Then with the master's, I was like, okay, I'm going to be done by the time I'm 23. But now that I am understanding life more and understanding life better, and just the importance of family and friends, I'm like, it really doesn't matter how long it takes to, say, complete a doctorate or get this or get that. It doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, we have to put our mental health first. It may be hard, but it's really important. And I don't think a lot of people get that, because in a world where we're just so success driven and goal driven and whatever else, it's really challenging to say to yourself, let me slow down, let me not do the most. And also as a teacher as well, teachers are just required to do a lot. We are always required to be there for the children, there for everybody, and not ourselves. And this was also another thing that bothered me in COVID-19, in that we worked all day. And while I don't mind doing it, I felt as though I was just required to do a lot. There were even days when I needed to go get groceries, and I had to like wake up very early just to go get something so that I could be there for everyone. And it wasn't a case where people were, probably checking in on you. I remember one particular time when I was told, this is the life you chose, this is what you have to do. And I don't really think people should have that outlook in life. And I think this is really going to spiral into how I actually leave teaching, because it's not the way we should look at life, and it's not the way that we should treat human beings. I am sorry if that's how you feel teachers should be treated, or if that's how you feel humans should be treated, but it's not the way. And I really feel like we have gone such a far way. We're away from reality, especially as it relates to teaching and education. We're just far away from reality. And I personally think that I was called to be a teacher, and reading the Bible and listening to stories about Jesus, how Jesus was a teacher. And a lot of us profess to be Christians and to be Christ-like, but at the end of the day, we're going to turn around and say, oh, this is the life you choose, and we have to work twice as hard as everybody. Like, I'm not going to lie, and I joke about it all the time. I feel like I'm working in this big corporate law firm doing a lot of stuff, and it shouldn't be like that, but that's how it is, and I guess that's how it will be. So this was really my talk about, getting over anxiety and ensuring that I don't become anxious ever again. And I remember, and there's always this scripture that I'm always reading, Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7. Be anxious for nothing, and in everything give thanks, and give your supplication unto God. This has always been a scripture. Like, I never really got it until I became anxious for real, and then I had to learn that I do not need to be anxious, and I don't need to worry about anything, and I don't need to give my all to anything or anybody for that matter. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I'm not sure when I'll go live again, or if I would, make this a thing, because that's another thing again. Being an educator, I feel like we're just seen as a staple. We're just there. We're not supposed to say anything. We're not supposed to have a point of view. If you have a point of view, then you're so wrong, and you're not a good fit for this area, this post, whatever it is. But for me, I feel if you're gonna be good at anything in life, there should be opportunities to talk about it, and opportunities to, encourage yourself, or to be encouraged by someone else. And also, as I mentioned, hobbies as well. I started a blog where I started to document my feelings, my emotions as a teacher. And like I said, it's very sad. It's a sad thing to say, but I am more at the point where I know and I feel like teaching will not be for me much longer, maybe a year, 2, 3 years. And I just want to share with someone, if you're interested in going into teaching, at least you have some insight into what happens in that world, and you can see if this is something you want. And if you're in teaching, you could see if this is something that you would continue to do. So thank you so much for watching, and take care. Oh, and by the way, I see like all the people that are watching or who are on. But if you want to talk to me about, how you dealt with anxiety, and if you're feeling anxious or whatever you're feeling, it's okay. You could inbox me if you're somebody who I don't usually talk to on a normal basis. But Savita was on, so good morning. Good morning, Nikisha. Good morning, Joelle. And Westward, Aisha, Abby. Good morning, guys. Anyway, take care.